Welcome to the Low Income Household Water Assistance Program Maximize Spend Down with Forecasting webinar. In this brief webinar, we will provide step-by-step instructions for how to use the LIHWAP Forecast Form. My name is Monica Toya. I'm a Program Associate for the Tribal Training and Technical Assistance Team at Lux Consulting Group. We provide training and technical assistance for tribes. In addition to your LIHWAP program specialist, LIHWAP tribal grant recipients can contact us if you have any questions about the content of this webinar or need assistance with the forecasting or spend down processes. In this webinar, we will explain the purpose of the LIHWAP forecast form, demonstrate why forecasting can be helpful to state and tribal LIHWAP grant recipients, review how to prepare for completing the LIHWAP forecast form, illustrate how to complete each section of the form step by step, share important things to know about unspent grant funds, additional need, and reallotment. And finally, we'll explain what to do with your finished LIHWAP forecast form and how to request further assistance. The LIHWAP forecast form identifies both current and future rates of expenditures for LIHWAP grant recipients. Current expenditure rates are identified in Section 1 of the form. Section 1 is pre-populated by federal LIHWAP staff. Please reach out to your program specialist if you have not received a pre-populated LIHWAP expenditure form with your program's funding amounts and current spend down rates. Sections 2 and 3, as well as remarks, are completed by the LIHWAP grant recipient staff. LIHWAP grant recipients received 2 awards that make up the total funding for their LIHWAP. Sections 2 and 3 forecast expenditure rates for the funds remaining under each of the 2 funding streams: Consolidated Appropriations Act, or CAA, and the American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA. In sections 2 and 3, grant recipients should identify the anticipated amount of each funding stream that will be spent during each month of the remaining LIHWAP project period. The LIHWAP budget period ends September 30th, 2023. When forecasting expenditures, grant recipients should not forecast the entire LIHWAP allotment. The forecasted expenditure should only include the portion of the LIHWAP budget that has not yet been expended. LIHWAP identifies expended funds as funds that a recipient has actually spent. Before we walk step by step through the LIHWAP forecast form, it's important for us to explain that completing a spend down forecast can help grant recipients take full advantage of available grant funding, maximize spend down, and make it easier to project how and when LIHWAP grant funds from each funding source can be used for the remaining grant period. It is also a helpful tool to use when working with your program specialist or TTA provider should you have questions about grant funds, need to adjust your spending goals, or to plan ahead should your program have any additional LIHWAP funding needs. While the primary goal of the forecast process is to ensure maximum spend down for each program with its service area, a secondary goal is to identify any amounts that will be unobligated. For any ARPA funds that grant recipients reports will be unobligated at the end of the current LIHWAP project period, which is September 30th, 2023, OCS will implement a reallotment process. This will allow funds that cannot be spent to be redistributed to communities with unmet household needs. Unobligated funds identified by grantees will be reobligated to communities with unmet need. The Office of Community Services released guidance on prioritizing spend down of CAA funding before ARPA funding. Only funds appropriated under ARPA can be reallocated. Therefore, all LIHWAP grant recipients should plan to draw down from their remaining CAA funding first. This will allow any unobligated grant funding from the ARPA appropriation to be re-allotted to grant recipients with unmet household needs. Let's begin with explaining how to prepare. Before grant recipients can complete the LIHWAP forecast form, you will need to obtain a copy of the form that is pre-populated with your most current expenditures. There are 3 different options for acquiring the form and/or data you need to start your forecast. The first option is to obtain the most recent pre-populated LIHWAP forecast form for your tribe from your program specialist. You should have received a copy from your program specialist via email between February 1st and 3rd. If you do not have a pre-populated forecast form, you can request a copy from your program specialist at any time. The second option, available only if you have access to PMS, is to log into the PMS system and retrieve the numbers needed to complete Section 1 of the form. The third option is to contact your TTA provider who is available to assist in getting a copy of the most up-to-date LIHWAP forecast form for your tribe upon request. Once you have the pre-populated form or you have the data needed to complete Section 1 of the form, you're ready to begin. To start using the form generated for your tribe, open the LIHWAP forecast form in Microsoft Excel. Verify that Section 1, Current Expenditures, is pre-populated. If this section does not include numbers, please reach out to your program specialist or TTA provider. Section 1, Current Expenditures should include following fields listed in row 3 and the accompanying data and dollar amounts specific to your tribe in row 4. CAA award, CAA award spent, CAA award remaining, ARPA award spent, ARPA award remaining, total LIHWAP amount spent, total percent spent as of the identified date, average burn-through rate per month, total amount left over at current rate. Be sure to review the data pre-populated by your program specialist concerning your remaining funds. Forecasted expenditures will account for the unexpended portion of your CAA and ARPA funding only. Now, let's move on to Section 2. The Office of Community Services released guidance on prioritizing spend down of CAA funding before ARPA funding. When forecasting expenditures, grantees that will not be able to spend all of their LIHWAP award should prioritize spending from CAA funding first and leave any unobligated amounts from ARPA funds. In Section 2, CAA forecasted expenditures, you will estimate the dollar amount from remaining CAA funds that you will be able to spend during each month of the currently authorized LIHWAP project period, which is February 2023 through September 30th, 2023. The expenditure amount should reflect the demand and anticipated fluctuations for your program. Therefore, the total amount may vary from month to month. It is okay if you will not be able to spend down all of your award. The total CAA funds you estimate spending will automatically calculate in cell J7. To complete Section 2, begin entering the dollar amounts of CAA funds you estimate spending down in each month, beginning with February 2023 in cell B7 and continuing entering monthly estimates all the way through September 2023 in cell I7. In Section 3, ARPA forecasted expenditures, estimate the dollar amount from the remaining ARPA funds that you will be able to spend during each month of the currently authorized LIHWAP project period. The expenditure amount should reflect the demand and anticipated fluctuations for your program. Therefore, the total amount may vary from month to month. Again, it is okay if you will not be able to spend down all of your award funds. The total ARPA funds you estimate spending will automatically calculate in cell J10. To complete Section 3, begin entering the dollar amounts of CAA funds you estimate spending down in each month, beginning with February 2023 in cell B10, and continue entering monthly estimates all the way through September 2023 in cell I10. Just below Section 3 is a section called Remarks. In this section, you can add comments about your estimations in cell A12. While completing the remarks section is optional, providing more descriptive details about how and when you have forecasted to spend your funds may be helpful for both your own planning purposes and for talking through your forecasts with your program specialist and TTA provider. Now that your LIHWAP forecast form is complete, the dollar amount shown in fields J7 and J10 will help you determine whether you will have any remaining grant funds or if you will need additional funds to cover your projected expenditures. Sharing this information with your program specialist is helpful for two reasons. First, any remaining ARPA funds left at the end of the grant period will be made available for reallotment to other communities who need it. CAA funds will not be available for reallotment past the end of the grant period. Therefore, it's recommended that grant recipients use their CAA dollars first. As an example, a tribe that was awarded $20,000 but only estimates spending $12,000 would spend $10,000 from CAA and $2,000 from ARPA. Second, if your forecast form indicates that you have additional need above the funds you were initially awarded, it is possible that funds projected for reallotment could be assigned to you. Please contact your program specialist or TTA provider with any questions you might have about unspent grant funds, additional need, or reallotment. Finally, when you have finished filling out your LIHWAP forecast form, please email it to liwap.reports@acf.hhs.gov and copy your program specialist. It is a good practice to review and update your forecast regularly to make sure that any changes are accounted for. Feel free to take notes of or take a screenshot of the program specialist's contact information shown by region on the screen or reference the PDF of the slides from this presentation. Thank you for your attention during this pre-recorded webinar on maximizing your LIHWAP spend down with forecasting. Should you need additional assistance completing and submitting the forecasting form, please reach out. Our contact information is available here for your reference. Thank you for all you do to support our state and Indigenous communities. Have a wonderful day.